Nossa Senhora! Meu Deus!
Well, that's your proof positive, folks. We don't need to have any more evidence of directed energy weapons from the sky being used to kill and murder and blow up houses from the sky. You see the blue. You see the blue light. You see the lasers coming down, torching one area, moving to another. You can see the beams coming down. And here's some of the companies that are doing it, publicly traded. Lockheed, turning up the heat. Latest evolution of Lockheed Martin laser weapon systems stops truck in field test. This was from 2015. 30 kilowatt fiber laser weapon successfully disabled the engine of a small truck. Known as Athena for Advanced Test High Energy Asset, the ground-based prototype system burned through engine manifold in a matter of seconds from more than a mile away. Fiber optic lasers are revolutionizing directed energy systems. We are investing in every component of the system, from the optic and the beam control to the laser itself, to drive size, weight, and power efficiencies. The test represents the next step to providing lightweight and rugged laser weapon systems for military aircraft, helicopters, ships, and trucks, and may I add, drones. All right. Demonstration marked the field test of integrated 30 kilowatt single mode fiber laser based system prototype, headquartered in Bethesda, Maryland. Lockheed Martin is a global security and aerospace company that employs 112,000 people. Corporation's net sales in 2014 were $45.6 billion. So this is case closed as far as evidence that this was a directed energy attack. And let's break this down. You see the blue. So we said the blue flashes. Here's your blue. And you can see it coming at an angle. It looks almost like a 45-degree angle. And the white hot flame is incinerating. But watch the blue move to the right, from right to left, move to the right, their frame, and move along as it torches the areas. And then the blue increases. See how, and then it ignites, and then it turns into this white hot and yellow. And it gets brighter and brighter, but you can still see that there is still some energy coming from the sky. See how it's lighting it up and intensifying it, and then there's that blue again. You got the blue again as it's hitting more areas. It's just zapping it, zzz, 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 microwaving the area, and you see the refraction, the reflections going on, and then you got that blue smoke coming out of it as well. But here's your blue light evidence, and then boom, it sparks off of that. And you can see it's an offshoot from another light coming, another laser coming from the side, it appears to be. And then you got the white hot again occurring, but the blue is continuing on from the right to left in the screen, showing it's going down, just torching, but the area has been ignited to the right there, and then the blue light turns off. And then you've got this smoky white hot flame, just like we saw the burning tree, just in a concentrated area. But then you're seeing these flashes, and then it stops, and then another flash. And then it comes in, and then there's another torch going on. And boom, look at that. You see that right there? Wow, it just exploded, and it's like it's shooting out, like there was something in there that was exploding and being shot out of the sides of this while the lasers hit it, apparently. And then we have this shot here of the blue again, directed energy being brought from the sky and just hitting the targets it wants. Now, people will say it's smart meters, maybe it's not, but we have clear prima facie evidence that this is directed energy attacks, folks. We do not need to go any further and ask any more questions whether or not we are being attacked with directed energies from the sky. This is a militarized operation. They're trying to hide and cloak who's doing this, but it doesn't matter. We're under attack all around the world, and no one is safe. This is prima facie evidence. Please share with everyone you know and love. So as I said, we have more than ample evidence, and these pictures here were provided from people from Paradise that were actually at the scene and saw blue lights flashing. Blue lights were so bright they could not look at it. Many people said they did see blue lights flashing, as I did, not flashing, but I did see blue in the sky during the attacks in October of 2017 here in Santa Rosa. But clearly you can see on these trees the blue at the top and not at the bottom. And then this imagery here is what we see. You don't see the flames of fires whatsoever. You just see this orange reddish glow, which many people are familiar with who have seen this. And then we have the famous burning tree of Paradise Center, where the tree is still standing, yet it was torched. And there's your lasers coming in from the sides, which I just did a video on yesterday. But the lasers have been around for a very, very long time. And they've been able to use this technology in a highly advanced state for using their vision for 2020. U.S. Air Force dominates space by 2020, a U.S. Air Force report. But here we see the pictures, we see the photographs, we have evidence all over from lasers coming from the sky, yet they're trying to tell us now these are fire NATOs, the first time in the new abnormals that we're seeing fire NATOs, when clearly they are laser-directed energy weapons. These weapons are being weaponized and they're genociding and killing all around the world now, folks. How much more evidence do we need? And then we have shills that are saying, oh, it can't be that because it would have to have been seen by many. Well, where's this guy now when we've got all the pictures, Dane Wiggleton? Where's all the pictures? And the other thing is the lasers are very small. In fact, you can go into a 7-Eleven and you can buy a pinpoint laser for a few bucks and you can shine it up into the pilot's eyes that can blind them up at 2,000 feet. That's how advanced the technology is. I mean, the evidence is overwhelming and it's very basic technology. And what do you think the military has been able to work on for such a long time? Directed energy 2020 paradigm, Vision 2020 coming out, and they're just promoting it. And it's in our faces now. It's full disclosure. They're not trying to hide it anymore. And they can also use it in non-lethal microwave weapons as well to call illness, paranoia, depression, manic behavior, and the zombie apocalypse if they wanted to. But it's based on our fears and our angers. So we must be with love in our hearts. But getting back to the lasers and the blue lights, this was a shot that came during the fire someone sent to me in Santa Rosa. And people said, oh, yeah, that's a made-up photograph. No, it's not. We now know, we have evidence that it's not. It's lasers that are being used to attack us from above. And again, the military, the world military, it's not the U.S. military, it's the world military. Their one world power is using their lasers to attack people in the United States, in South America, in China, in Canada. This is a PAVE pause microwave. It is massive. Look at how big those things are. What do you think they're being used for, folks? They're being used to direct microwave energy using radio frequencies. This is above Chico, showing the scattered radars, how they're using it to direct energy. And then here's the photographs that were sent to me with lights in the sky. Now, are these the directed energy crafts that are doing it? I know from a guy that's on the inside that they are able to use drones, and they use drones in the attacks in Santa Rosa. And here in Paradise, we can see the laser attacks on the hills, scarring the hills. It can be only been done by lasers. It's just the evidence is overwhelming. So let's not talk anymore about if, but now that it's happening, we need to talk about what we're going to do about it. And the first thing is always to wake up. And once we wake up, it's our responsibility to educate, inform, and alert. Here's the ignition switch that caused from the ground up. So it's not just lasers. This is from Paradise, but it's also ground attacks, underground lightning as well. It's a multi-pronged attack. So we can't just say it's directed energy being done from above. They are also using VLF and ULF, very low frequency and ultra low frequencies, to use tomography, ground penetrating, underground weapon systems as well, lightning, to cause some of the infliction. But again, the common sense, if the hottest fires and forest fires burn at 1,500 degrees, how are these bridges that take 2,500 degrees to melt? I mean, cultivate your common sense. And then we see total destruction except for the plastic. Why is the plastic? Because it's microwave safe. That's why you can put plastic in a microwave. I mean, how much more evidence do we need to see that this was an attack done with using directed energy lasers? I'm sorry, but we need to get this through our heads, that these attacks are coming fast and furious, and they're not going to stop just because we're getting awake. We must first come awake, and then we must take action, and we must get numbers, enough people. This is Cardinal Newman Ball Field. Laser surgery across Cardinal Newman Ball Field in Santa Rosa. Trees being burnt from the inside. Now, is that the underground lightning causing that from all the desiccants of aluminum? We don't know yet, but this is not a forest fire when they can target some homes and leave others. The other thing we saw is ample evidence up in Paradise of these holes in the ground everywhere, like they were torched down, and these go down like a few feet in some places, not a few feet, maybe about 15, 20 inches into the ground, round, like they were pulsed lasers going into the ground. And then check out this shot here. This is an old chainsaw, but it took the engine out, but you can still see the metal of the chainsaw. It was directed, it's highly focused. And then we have these pictures, folks. If this doesn't wake everybody up, I don't know what will. How can it hit those houses and not the others right next door? Does this make any sense to anybody that this was a forest fire? Challenge your fire departments. Take these to the fire captains. The firemen are in danger. They've never seen this kind of new abnormal, as Jerry Brown calls it. They're putting themselves in harm's way, where they're going to be affected by these super temperatures and this toxic aftermath of what comes out of this stuff. And then you can see the cars. I mean, the cars are directed. They focus an energy beam. They can target your LoJack. They can target your OnStar. They can target you through your smartphone. They can even target you through the chips in your credit cards. But here's 9/11, dustification. Judy Woods, where are you? We need you. Get back here. We need you. Where are you commenting? This was a fire engine, right, parked outside of 9/11. Are you kidding me? You're going to say that was caused by 9/11? Or how about down in Malibu, where the car's torched, but the house is completely fine? It's directed. They decided where they wanted to do it, and then they hit it. Why is that car the only one on fire up in Paradise? How can cars 3,000 pounds be flipped on their roof by a forest fire? How can the trees still be standing? The temperatures they used is high temperatures. Now, if metal and steel melt at 2,500 degrees or so, to have it dustified like it does would take much higher pulsed energy that can just rip the thing apart. And here we've seen cars being parked on the side of the road where they pulled over. And here's someone waiting for gas. Folks, keep your gas tanks full, please. That's what everybody said. The big problem was they didn't have enough gas. And take a look at these pictures. Here's a covered aluminum shed. A covered aluminum shed. And the car underneath is torched. And the trees in the background are fine. But the car, the X means they've checked the car for dead bodies. And we'll get into that in another one. But the cars were absolutely torched. Here we see the same scenario again. We've got a covered shed roof, yet the car is torched underneath it. Again, this is just prima facie evidence of directed energy attack. And check this out. This is in Paradise the other day where I went with Christine, and this was at the Acute Center off of Pence Road here. Look at these cars. The one next to it is completely torched, but two cars parked not 10 feet away. The front plastic is melted, and the cars are fine. I mean, how can this happen, folks, where the plastic and the car light is melted, yet right 10 feet away, the other cars are completely torched? And another thing, folks, is they really don't care to warn you that you're going to get out. The cell phones did not work in Santa Rosa. They did not work in Paradise, even though everybody was told to sign up. They let the pets die. They would not let people in to help them. They pulled people over the sides of the roads, possibly using LoJack or OnStar, so they could torch them in their cars. The car doors are closed. They didn't get out. But they're calling this a forest fire. This is a mobile home park. They love to hit the elderly. And then this hell on earth, 60 minutes, hell on earth, the Paradise Inferno with the bread and circuses football game in the background. There's too many people, they think. They need to get rid of them. This is the extermination process. I'm sorry to say, but it's happening not just all over California, but everywhere. And then you got Trump going to Paradise and saying it's a pleasure because Biff is Trump and Back into the Future movie. So in closing, I want to end with Larkin Rose, a true hero, trained to see the chains of salvations, taught to bow to the liars and the thieves, blind devotion to master and nation, binds the soul of he who believes. What beauty might grow if we let the lie die and embrace what is simple and true. Yesterday's blasphemy, now truth must be high. As I own me, so you must own you. Indeed.
Nossa Senhora! Meu Deus! Nossa.